Hello, beautiful folks, wherever you are. Welcome back. It's underscore Gintu. I'm still in my deep thoughts, and much of the disclaimer, much of the people have been talking, much of the people have discriminated, much of the people have said, oh, Gintu gonna be ABCD, gonna be scamming. Whenever you see Gintu is having such kind of the assets coming here like sand, and I'm not dancing nor making a kind of much of the parties, and because I know parting will come, the time of parting will come. And my little cry each and every kind of time is, I know they're talking about, oh, Gintu, you were just there during that kind of, the Matikos, talk about the jailment of Matiko's father, about the road of D and much more. What I'm going to be saying is, at that kind of the portfolio, it was a crazy moment because everybody has to look it keenly. And I don't know if this is the last, is this the end of me? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if this is the end of me. And that's what people are hoping to. Every time they have to come out and say, oh, Gintu, ABCD, here and there. I know not everybody will be happy whenever I'm going to be building here. And I feel very sorry for the people who think about development is not needed. When even some of the roads were being excavated and graded, I participated to talk about when there is development, I support it. Including when the Jamaican grandpa came, and I talked about if he was the first person to grade the road, and supported him. And I talked about to Mama Ans, please, Percy, please, that's the road that will be helping us. And if they want to grade it, it will be so punctual for us to work on it. And I said it was to development, including he had to come and look for me, so as we can agree and pinpoint some of the issues. But he was told if he publishes the video, because Gintu is now in peace and everything has to go on. When you see Gintu is always coming out and talking about, we should understand ourselves. And we should know where the rights are, because everybody is controlled. Like we have only one God in the village. And that is not the reality. Everybody has the capacity of making a change, even if it's a smaller thing, but a change has to come. So I feel very bad when I talk about I'm going to be supporting also. These are huge, awesome amount of, talk about hardcore, that even people are just talking about, Gintu, how is it? People think about Gintu going to be building using the hardcore. But these are just for only the foundation, only the foundation. And that's the time you can come to understand it's a genuine construction that's going to be done. I have already the plan, the design. I'm only collecting materials to make sure I'm going to be orienting the house. It will create the job opportunity. It will create an awareness to people who are going to be learning about the industry, the skillful manner of the construction. They're this kind of the young boys who have finished the Form 4 class. They have done their final exam. Not everybody will pursue to the university. Not everybody will pursue to the colleges. Not everybody pursue to the TVETs. But there are some of them who will work outside there in this Juakali industry. And so many of them right now, they are at home. Which kind of the work do you want them to do? There's somebody who is declining and talking about, oh, Gintu, oh, we praise God because Gintu is denied a road. Shame on you. And it's not a perfect moment of maybe targeting and talking about it's the last moment of Gintu to be denied a road. Yes, the road is denied. But remember, today is today. And tomorrow gonna be another day, and it will be developing and it will be coming, because everything has its own course. Mambo vipi? Uko chonjo? Safi. Alhamdulillah. And I'm going to be crying terribly because I've removed myself to encounter, and people are there struggling and talking about, this kind of the people, they might be grabbing some of the lands. Who doesn't acknowledge, who doesn't know this kind of the fish farm from 2023? If it could be for somebody could come out and talk about Ogintu, this kind of the fish farm belongs to me. And even my brother is the one who is bringing this kind of the materials here. So if I could be doing something wrong, my brother could not be coming with the truck to get this kind of the materials to this kind of the site. I'm crying to my heart very, very deeply because I know they might react to this kind of the video rather than let it be. Because I don't care about it. I have to express and talk about the dignity has to be there. And if the development has to be occurred with this is not Gintu's house for Gintu to live. No. This is not the house of Gintu to talk about, okay, I'm going to be doing any kind of the things here. Maybe it's for the family members. It's to help the and talk about maneuver. Make this kind of the young boys adjust to the environment and understand what is the tropical moment, which is the Capricornic moment, the equatoric moment. That will be the necessary thing. But this is a deep thought. When I come here and I think and I say, is this the end of the project? A bit scared. I feel also like crying because I had a good way of motivating and also giving much of the people. But I see people are attacking and talking about, they want to demoralize Gintu. They want to talk about how Gintu cannot make it come out. But those are just the little pollution, the noise pollution of the frogs to an elephant not to drink water. And if God says Gintu had to make it happen, nobody will just talk about it cannot be. Because even everybody can see, including the person who blocked the road to me, for them to block the road, it's because of huge, awesome amount of transformation. How the trucks are passing like a safari rally to their homes, and they're just wondering, why is it happening to this young boy? It's not a scary moment. It's not something like Gintu can come out and talk about it cannot be. But it's traumatizing to the people who knows development and the people who have children who are going to be developing. If Gintu could be a liquor person outside there, they could be saying, oh, Gintu could be a nice person, could be a better good person. But when you are now a good person again, you are told, oh, Gintu might be in this kind of the scenario platform. Oh, Gintu going to be this. Gintu is a Freemason. Why is this kind of the development? Gintu should be taxed. Gintu's kicker of the day. Is this the end of Gintu? Or they want to see me being in the same level they are? Because birds of the same plumage locomote in the same unison. It's like this, the birds of the same feathers flock together. So to the modernist mean, I have to use a modernized way because I understand my English. Some of the people might talk about how is it. Birds of the same plumage always locomote in the same unison. Because they want to see Gintu talking about, hey man, I like this. Gintu doesn't liquor. I'm sober 24/7. And the people who are attacking Gintu because of the development that they have not done to themselves, they are ever talking about, why is it this kind of the trucks here of hardcore. There are 12 trucks, 10,000 per each to reach this kind of the river. 10,000 per each, which is $100 per each. You can come to the science. Sand, which is $100, 10,000 per truck, sand to reach this kind of the destination. And it's not very easy whenever you see a person like a young boys transforming and making it. Then there's a people who are liquoring somewhere. They're talking about how are we going to be siphoning this money from this young gentleman. Let me call the brother who I've spoke with, so he can just tell me if it's possible for the passage. If it's not possible, I will not have any necessary. I will wait for the survey. Let's wait and see. I don't know if they will pick. That's why I say things are rampant. Everybody needs money. It will cut itself. Unconditional. It has cut. So it means no agreement reached. If there's no agreement, then let me initiate the lawful and also get a lawyer and to get a good survey, and I'll get the road. If my father also said, was ever telling me, when you are mechanizing any kind of a machine, and maybe you are mechanizing a motorbike or a vehicle engine, you insert some of the specific stuffs to that area, or specific some of the metals or spare parts. Some of the parts cannot join in a smooth way. Know that spare part was not meant to be that way. And if you are pushing some spare parts to get to some certain area where they are made to get, but you are pushing and using a lot of energy to insert it somewhere, it was not meant to be that way. Look for another alternative. Every spare parts join where it's necessary to be joining in a smooth and a good lubricated way. It doesn't have you to use a lot of energy, because if it was meant to be in that kind of a specific place, why are you pressurizing yourself to get it there? A good thought for much of the people also. Because if you are pressurizing to get a road, and if nobody wants to bear with the circumstances, it seems there is something cooking behind the scene. And I should not be at that level, because it will not be sounding good. At that moment, as I say, let me look for the better alternative, and God knows. And for the people who acknowledge and understand about Gintu, they know what I mean. We will find a way. Where seems to be no way, there will be a way. And I know there are so many people are now very happy talking about Gintu, A, B, C, D. This is not the end. The end is when you die. As long as you are surviving, strive, move, make a step. But again, if you're making a step and you are cut legs, look for a wheelchair, look for clutch. Movement is acknowledged. That is the only possible way for us to move. At this kind of the level, as I say, I know everything will be okay. For the people talking about Gintu this, Gintu that one, I know it's because of development and jealousy That's why they are talking shit. This is the horizon of Nyamwini. So scary. Be locked. Hello, beautiful folks, wherever you are and the internet. Welcome back. It's underscore Gintu back again to the root of today. Here we are. It's one-on-one live coverage. You're going to be coming to this kind of the platform, which is one-on-one. And I respect much of the people also tuned in and locked in as we're going to be starting this kind of the charifragistic moment and appreciation and also respect to the people who are tuned in and locked in, supporting and also talking about Gintu have to get forward. So to this kind of the portfolio, hello internet, back to this kind of the spot mark, and we're going to be making sure that everything is coming to you live one-on-one. So today I have much of the people are always claiming and they're talking more about shit, east, west and south. We understand and we know not everybody gonna be going there and appreciating you whatever you are doing. And also what is just there is like gonna be speaking like this. To the ecosystem of a fish, there must be water, which is constituting to its kind of the life for its survival. And it's not a good thing or a good time whenever we say when this kind of the deal of survival is engaged between water and the fish, and again there is a fail somewhere that they're going to be extracted to talk about a fish again and the water, they ever come to have an argument whereby the participation of the cooking of the fish, water is involved. So you can come to the conclusion of what I mean. So to this kind of the moment, there's a time I ever came out and talked about, I've ever been talking about this kind of the land. Since 2023, talking about we're going to be developing this kind of the land, having some different technical things, and also some of the facilities that will entitle to have people engaging into real activities of earning money and engaging to the real things of knowing what we're going to be doing and coming out with the products and the yields which will be so good in terms of the market demand. So this kind of the land, if it could be having any kind of the problem, I see so many people tagging and talking about Gintu, that kind of the land, he doesn't own it. Somebody could have already come out and talked about Gintu, you know, this kind of the land, you are ever A, B, C, D, you could not be this way. So I cannot start having this kind of the whole of this kind of the material to the upper section, and somebody come out and talk about Gintu, you know, you don't own this kind of the property, which is not the right proportional thing. And also I'm doing what is necessary, and also I've just involved my lawyers and also the lawful talk about the law firms, and they're going to be handling much of the survey that's going to be coming out to this kind of the plot. And we don't have any kind of the things to talk about, oh maybe Mama Tandi, they're going to be owning anything, they're going to be grabbing much of the lands here. It's not entitled to us. What is there is it's just the jealousy of some people because this kind of the supports are not going to them. They're just wondering, why is it like Gintu is always jogging all around, and this kind of the foundation is going to be getting to Gintu, and why is it probably getting to Gintu only, and why is it not propagated to this kind of the other people or misconduct to the other people, which is one thing that people has to understand. So to the real way, this kind of the building site are going to be building the facility. This kind of the land belongs to Gintu 100%, and nobody owns it if it's not Gintu. And if Gintu is not there, it's not owned with anyone. That is it. And nobody is there to talk about, oh, maybe I am a person who is entitled whenever Gintu is not there, somebody can take. This is a person who is maybe a person who will just the hierarchy gonna be getting, so as it will just coming from Gintu, then the person gonna be there. It's not entitled into that. This land is for Gintu personally, and that is what people have to understand and come to the conclusion. And number two, I have one thing that I'm gonna be telling much of the people. I've seen so many people are terribly talking about, oh, maybe tearing Gintu from this kind of the side, from the other side, because they cannot evolve. Ask them, how many lands have you bought? And if they want to understand who is Gintu, can you come to my own affidavit and understand how many lands I own? And I heard some of the people talking about Gintu is now owning some land from Matiko. And which is one of the things that are going to be telling them, you are just demagogically not understanding the stability of the village. Because I cannot own a land from somebody I'm helping, and that one can never be there. And if it's buying lands, I bought them even before the YouTube platform. Simply that way. Because this land, I acquired it in 2017. Where were you? The person is talking about ABCD. I was in Form 3 and I started owning it. I have a new land and another land that I owned alongside the other stuff where is very close to the other party. You understand what I mean? And I own it since 2019. I was doing the driving work as a truck driver. So whoever is thinking about you're going to be talking about Gintu ABCD, I'm very sorry. These are just the ones, and I will never be talking about, oh, how many lands ABCD, just to know those kind of the two. And I've seen so many people talking about, oh, Gintu owns some of the lands from Mayani. And Mayani, there's a time we had a deal when some of the people, hindered east to south, and they placed Mayani inside, talking about its defilement cases. Then I subjected myself to help Mayani. And they were about to talk about, oh, Gintu, we're going to be offering this, or they can just, you have done it the best. I refused. And I said it can never be. And because I have, right now you'll never see Gintu and this kind of the camera talking about, oh, now buying this kind of the land ABCD, no day. But the only thing you'll just be hearing is that land belongs to Gintu. The other one belongs to Gintu. The other, and we'll never hear them. Because what people need is Gintu to target like, oh, this is the land I'm owning. They start now Googling, who is the owner of that land? Was he forced to buy or was he forced to sell? A bit traumatized. But that is not my criteria of handling this kind of the land section. And I'm not a grabber, and as I say it. And I always understand the children should be there, the father should be there, and everybody should be there and tell me, why do you want to sell that land? And also the chief is always available to understand why is that land be sold. Because I don't want at the end to be told, oh, Gintu ABCD, and no day you'll ever understand it. Because the people are just speaking about Gintu's ABCD, the land zero, or whatever. I saw so many videos, people are tagging Gintu. And what I'm not understanding is, this kind of the people are talking about, they are foot soldiers of some other parties. But at the end of the moment, Gintu is told, oh, you know, I'm going to be arresting you because of tagging this kind of the name. A bit crazy, a bit shameful, whereby I can see the same people talking about their foot soldiers of the other demagogues, and they're coming out to talk about Gintu and also tag Gintu's name and think about going to be interfering with me. That's just for them, because the steps you are just making, we know where we are coming from and where we are heading. And the good fact is they're feeling very, very uncomfortable where I took over from Matiko's work. I am ever building houses and I'm coming up with houses. And this is the fourth house I'm going to be building here. They're just wondering, where is Gintu getting money from? A bit they're scared and they're talking about, why is it happening to Gintu? Why can't you come to my own DM and tell Gintu, hey Gintu man, how are you working and how are you getting this kind of the money to build? Because I have a J Castle, which is a multi-million project at home. I have my mom's kitchen, which is also a million gonna be coming out from there. I have a new construction undergoing around Mabera, and I never told anyone about the land and whatever. And it was a very, very expensive land I ever bought. And I bought it before even I went to the YouTube platform. People, what they don't understand is whenever they see Gintu outside here, they think about, oh, maybe Gintu is just walking. I see people talking about Gintu going to be jealous about somebody has a car. Do they know that Gintu also own it? And nobody will ever know where it is because I started it. Let me say this as a fact. When I brought one of the cars to help in terms of the public sector, and I brought it at home, and it was faithfully, and it was prayed with my father, he was there. And when I got that kind of the car, I brought it. Then I was riding at home very safely, and it was one of the MP, which is a member of parliament of Kuria West, was having a little bit of the meetings and a congregation at Roker Primary School. So I was part of the queue because there's a time I worked for that MP before I became a YouTuber. And I cooked for them. Do you know that Ginto has ever cooked for the recent President William Samoei Ruto? In the MP called Matthias Robbie, in his home, I ever cooked for them. I was a very good chief chef. So the person who thinks about Ginto has earned money recently here and here, can you go and ask Priska Sagati can tell you, my friend. She ever saw me somewhere and she's just still wondering, is this the real person that I saw at the party time here? Ginto is just doing some 2-3 things. I'm a real and a good chief chef, and I worked in America's companies, organizations called Kenya Relief, and I was a very good chief chef #2 from the salutment. And for the people who think about Ginto has gained the experience outside here only from the YouTube platform, I'm very sorry. I prepared before it, and that's why you see, whenever it comes to the real scenario of somebody thinking about I'm gonna be humiliated and somebody can accuse me, allegate Ginto, I'm very sorry about that. Because I know who you know, and I will know whatever you are thinking about before you reach there. I've been trained, I've been passing through each and every kind of the hand to reach where I am, including the brutal hands, including the stupidest hands, including the jealous hands, the police hands, the military hands. I've passed through. So somebody who wants to talk about ABCD, I'm very sorry. Do you, some of the people are talking about Ginto maybe, since I came to the YouTube platform, I've never bought a land. Just know that. And if I like about I'm gonna be purchasing lands, it will be something else. Until people think about, oh, Ginto, you're gonna be grabbing again. No, I'm not into that. And I'm the one who is declining the purchasement and also the buying of lands whereby you cannot know the history of that area and the history of the family. Because I have experience. I have gotten my friends to buy lands. I have seen it. And for the people think about ABCD, I saw so many people are reacting and talking about Ginto has bought land from Matiko, which is not an accusation. And I don't know if they have a proof about it. And what I'm just talking about is, I know this kind of the YouTube platform is a survival value. And to the real fact about the people talking about Ginto, I know they need food to put onto the table. Whenever they mention my name, I know they need small food to put onto the table. Children to go and eat, go and sleep. And that is it. But when I see some people thinking about now they're going to be destroying Ginto, I'm very sorry about that one. Because I have made my history clear. I don't have conditions. I don't work with conditions. And for the person thinks about, oh, maybe Mama Tandy and Mama Rose, they're going to be coming to Ginto's projects and to fund Ginto, to have a facility that will help, including your brothers and sisters, whereby this kind of the facility, it's one of the modernest facilities here in Migori County. And in Migori County, we have a hatchery. The hatchery, which is very close to us, it's in a place called Rongo and Ranen. And for me to reach to Ranen, I have to go for several kilometers to acquire and get some of the fingerlings here. Yet we have that water and the capacity to rear and hatch the same fish, and we can sell to the people and motivate other people who have the water table to their front yard, and they can dig their own fish ponds and they can excavate and make sure we're going to be supplying them with this kind of the manufactured and also or fully oriented hatchery from the foundation to help them with the fingerlings, which is a bigger boost to the ecosystem. They're going to be getting some fingerlings from Ginto for free, and they can work with their own concession and they can make it happen. But there's somewhere somebody who is sitting and discussing and talking about, oh, let me now dismantle Ginto from the foundation. It will never work. If God has signed that Ginto will have it, nobody will come to terminate it. Whether you go to a witchcraft, whether you go to a witch doctor, Whether you go and bow to which kind of the handle you might go, it will never work. And as I said, and what I'm doing right now is to facilitate and get to the lawful suit and make sure that I'm going to be getting a lawyer who is very, very good in terms of that. I don't mind using which kind of amount of money, but I'm telling you, we're going to be having the road, and I will never buy a road. That get it from me. The people who are just bisectionally told like, oh, go and block Gintu not to pass, and just come out and talk about, oh, go and grab a ladder, place it there and hit some nails. So as whenever Gintu gonna be coming with some materials, they should just turn around and there's no road. I'm very sorry if you are the one, because they felt, if you felt good, yes, there are some of the materials that went back to my home, including my brother reached at the section and they said there's no road. And my brother had to return the materials to my home. I'm still building. So that kind of the materials never went for a loss. So understand it that way. Whenever there's something that I was told when I was one of the good security man and I was in the training of the security department. When I reached there, I was told with the owner of the hotel I was to guard, and I was told, Gintu, if you make this young man to be terminated from the work, is your mother, is your grandmother, is your brother gonna be getting that chance? He gonna be scrambled from him. The thing you have to think about is what you are doing. Or if you wanna be terminating Gintu or terminating this young man from the work you're gonna be doing, do you understand, like, is your mother, your father, any family member of yours gonna be replacing him? If yes, go on. If no, there's another person who will be brought for the interview and grab that job, and you're thinking about the young man gonna be surviving or having any kind of the terrible things. I'm very sorry about that, and we'll never move. I saw it because, let me say this as a fact, because I have experience. So many people outside here, there's this kind of the young man, I saw he was talking about Gintu gonna be grabbing maybe the fish ponds of Mayani. What is there is number one, I'm not interested buying a land, number one. I'm not interested of having extra fish ponds. Do you know where I wanna be building? This is a water table still. I can dig here and excavate here. Where I'm placing the materials, I can build it there. And nobody gonna be coming to ask Gintu why. I can do it because it's my land. And wait for that one to come, because they think about, oh, now they're gonna be engaging and talking about ABCD. I know this kind of the other team. Genuinely. And it's not even for the government that Gintu owned it for 99 years. No, I own this kind of the land permanently and genuinely. Number two, the fish pond of this young man called Mayani, I'm not interested with the other extra fish ponds, and I'm not there to own any other extra fish ponds, because these ones they are here, I can make them to multiply, and I can bisectionalize them. I can make one like this one here into 3 sections, and they can work properly. So 3 of them, I can have 9, and it is possible. So for the person who thinks about Gintu is this, I can sectionalize them, have them the brooding space, I can have the upper stage, I can have the deeper stages, I can have the reproduction area, I can have every kind of the section I need in one fish pond, because it's bigger and its depth is so punctual about it. The other thing is, number one, when I was working in the hotel industry, which brought me to this kind of the industry of YouTube platform, and the YouTube platform will not survive for any longer, how I see it, because we are here like renting. Tomorrow but one, they'll say we want to renovate the whole hostel, and we will have to move. So for the person to come and trick me right now and think about, oh, Gintu gonna be surviving into this. I was giving out a story, I never finished it. I said when I was having a car, then I went to that kind of the convoy of the area MP. I got and I reached there, then I was called the same time I reached where the convoy had to stop and I had to park. Before I could come out of the car, I was called. And this was from the car industries. And I was told, Gintu, your number plate is in Migori. Can you go and get it? And also the logbook. When I got out from the talk about the parking zone, I rushed to Migori. I saw I never had a number plate and this kind of the logbook. I packed it where I always go for the mechanical services, which is a garage. I packed it there. Then I went to Migori via the public means. I left my private there because I had not oriented it into the public means. Before I could reach in Migori, the mechanic called me and talked about Gintu. There are some of the traffic police and some genuine police who are here, and they're claiming to have the number plate and also the logbook of their car because they have been told like this kind of the car, it's the one which is engaging in the criminal loitering and also criminal way and driving the criminals from one side to another. Then I told them, just wait for me a bit and I'm collecting some of the stuffs in Migori are gonna be arriving there soon. So when I came, I got 12 policemen, including the traffic police, NTSA. And the NTSA, they are not even very near, they're in Migori town. Who called them? Who called the traffic from Sirari to come to Nyabuanze? Who called the local police to go and guard the car, and they were about to bring a winch and take off the car, get it to the station and claim about that car is the one which is driving the criminals. When I reached with the logs and everything, they talked about kijana uko na bahati. That's the term they used. That this kind of young boy, you have a good kismet. In a way, like this car was to go. So I had arrived with the logbook and also the number plate. They checked the chassis and everywhere, including the window panes and much more. They have to be written which is necessary. At that kind of the rate I said, I will never put my old things onto well-known people because not everybody looks good when you are driving. Yeah. Not everybody looks well when I'm saying I'm gonna be building and they don't have even a single grass-touched house. They feel like, okay, this kind of Gintu gonna be building the 4th house. You can imagine, the 4th house, which is not a smaller one, a story building. They think about, oh, we have to stop this. Oh, they have to grab ABCD. Oh, Gintu is doing ABCD. You will look, you will bisectionalize, you will do whatever is necessary, but there's nothing is conducted behind the level. And I honor my dignity because I know where we are coming from. And everybody knows, including this kind of the gentleman, he knows the background.
Yeah.
To the real way of understanding it.
So much.
I know so many people are talking about, oh, Gintu, now you don't have a road. Yes, we said it unto Matiko. And the people said about, oh, Gintu take some of the materials to Matiko via the aeroplane. Or take an helicopter and fly it to Matiko with some stones. Let us see where you are going to pass because of what? The jealousy like Gintu gonna be overtaking some of the things that never ever people thought about. And the other thing is, number one, the same way they ever said it, and I know this other family that is ever coming out obsessively, talking about Gintu should pay more than 70,000 to acquire. Am I buying that? That's a land. I will just add a little bit, go interior, buy a land and plant trees and leave them there. And the people doesn't know like I have so many forests. Including, guys, a little bit of to say things in a reality format. We are not here to brag or to say what is necessary. But to the real way, this weekend, I'm going to sponsor my courtesy, one of the football club called Kibranga, they have ever talked about, Gintu, can you please buy us something? I have my phone there. Grab my phone there. And this kind of the gentlemen are saying, please, Gintu, can you support us? It's not the first time. There's a way at my home I support a football club. Number one, when I see this kind of the football clubs moving from one section to another, I know which is more relevant. And this kind of the young boy, I think this young boy is called let me see this young boy here. They have given me an invitation to go support them with football balls, the soccer balls. And on this weekend, from on Saturday, Sunday, I'm gonna be collecting myself, I'm gonna be buying them a football or a soccer ball to Kibranga Primary. And which is my courtesy to support this kind of the young boys. Because if I see them engaging after maybe talk about lunchtime edition or whatever necessary, they're gonna be playing soccer, they're gonna be getting some tournaments, which is the best, which is a motivation for them to move. And also, when they're gonna be exercising themselves, they are leaving aside from the home ground so many circuses they could be doing, which could bring to them some problems. Some of them could be stealing at that moment, but they have engaged into activities that will keep them busy. And I support the football clubs. And at that kind of the factor, I know, because it's not my first time, not my second time, I support them. And the people who are claiming to destroy Gintu's name, Gintu's name started being destroyed years ago. Not only the haters who are just onto the platform, I know. Not everybody likes, even the people who are watching, not everybody is there. They are here to listen and know when is Gintu going to be falling. That is it. And to the real way of understanding how the village moves, as I tell you a fact. Not everybody who comes to the hospital is coming to check your health purposes. Some of them are coming to check on when are you going to be leaving the world. So as they can go and spread and say, he was doing ABC. And they are happy. They will be happy about it. Not everybody is there to cherish you. That is the fact.
Let me give you one thing. Some information that, and it's on air, and they checked it through. Because the dancing grandma with guy here, David Jr. came and took the grandma video telling that I'm that desperate, went there to beg. Please, I'm telling them, when did I go to beg there? Please, when did I go to beg there?
So the thing is, there are some of the reactions that people think about. We should be onto their toes, and we shall be there to lick their buttocks, so that they can feel like people are gonna be surviving because of them. Point number one: I survive with no one's condition. Number two, if this was my risk to take it, that's my risk, and it's not made for anybody. And if I'll be to begin to, that is who I am. And the whole ecosystem, they understand who I am. Because I'm not a person you can come and talk about, oh, I'm going to be engaging, I'm going to be spoiling, I'm going to be talking about, oh, Gintu ABCD. And you think about Gintu going to be maybe discriminated, or going to be in a racism, going to be in a tribal. I don't have that. But when we need development, and we need some things to be done, why do people think about it's only one family that can surprise and can make big things? A bit scary, a bit shocking, which are crinkums of the day. And the little fact is, everybody has entitlement to make development.
Gintu, it pains me because I come from my family, and my family knows that wherever I don't have something, I gonna cry to my family. You are my family. I gonna come to you. You can give me something. I gonna cry to Matiko's family, to the dancing grandma. But now it's now chaos. But I've never gone there since I was told that
The work has stopped.
Yeah, I've never been there. It's like a month. Yeah, and I feel not going there because I know the dancing grandma is a witch.
What has made you to have...
Let me go too deep.
No.
The dancing grandma is a
Stop it. Stop
witch.
it there. No, don't stop. Stop it there.
Yeah.
A bit, we have to understand it first.
Yeah.
Because every kind of the point you're going to be speaking, it has to be oriented first.
Yeah.
And we have to get the clarity about it before we're going to be spreading whatever going to be coming out.
Yeah.
And that kind of an artifact,
Yeah.
I will say, not everybody likes who you are.
Yeah.
Not everybody will like whatever you're going to be doing.
Thank you.
The progress you're going to be doing, not everybody likes it.
Thank you so much.
Whatever you do, even your family members, your closest family members, they'll ever come talk about, even right now, I turn tomorrow and talk about now going to be building your house, or going to be sponsoring you, or going to be having a sponsorship.
Yeah, thank you.
You'll talk about, now Mokami is now becoming, maybe something wrong happens to your family, like maybe somebody very close to you dies. You'll tell them repetently where you have got that money from.
Yeah.
Because everybody who is becoming rich and is going to be having a different module of moving and getting some other extra way of movement, people will ever come out to excavate how they will turn you down.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be asking you a question. When you are inside this kind of the fish pond right now, and I want to be pulling you up, it will be very difficult for me to pull you up. Yes or no?
Yeah, it's deep.
What about pull you down? Very quick.
Take me very fast.
Very fast.
Very fast. It's a second.
That is what I mean. This kind of the people who don't want to see you going, and they want to see you having crazy moments, talking about police are in you, talking about ABCD. They want to be seeing you in that default manner of the down sea level. They are pulling you into that. And not everybody will be happy to see you growing, overcoming temptations, and becoming and recognizing who you are.
Yeah.
Not everybody, even the colonialism, you know the history. They never wanted to promptly give out education to Africans.
More especially the Moi government.
Not only that one. Not only that one. The colonial government was having white highlands, white schools, white hospitals. Why? They never wanted
The classes.
They never wanted an African to get education so as you can go and fight them and recognize your rights and freedoms.
Yeah, the classes.
There was racism, tribalism, and if there is a way we were having people who collaborated and people who never collaborated. And to that, the maybe talk about the kingdoms during that time, or the tribes that collaborated, they got better and better things coming out.
And that's why we went to school.
And to the people who never collaborated with them, even to the specific moment right now, they are suffering. Because even right now, the government, which is inside, we say as a fact, they know this kind of a tribe never supported us. And to that there's no development will go there, whether you like it or not. Very scarce development.
Yeah.
Very scarce.
They're
very minimal.
Yeah.
Very
they're
minimal.
only coming. They have that power that they can come and talk. In fact, they're manipulating people.
And the good thing is, a little bit of, because I always pinpoint to tell you, like an example, here we are, it's called Nyamusense Komusoko Ward.
Yeah.
Nyamusense Komusoko Ward, when the vote casted, the total vote casted, and the ones that were subjected to the this era we are, it was 98%.
Yeah.
Went to the recent government.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know when the president was announced, he gave this kind of the Nyamusense Komusoko Ward. When you see in Nyabohanse Center,
you're following up.
When you see it in Nyabohanse Center, there is a very big grocery built there, a one-story building.
Yeah.
And this kind of a one-story building, it is one of the largest.
And here, it's ongoing.
It's ongoing here in Migori County. Why? Why is it not in Migori town, whereby there's so many people? Why is it in Nyabohanse? And there are so many boreholes are dug in Nyabohanse to supply water, clean water to the people in Nyabohanse. They voted to the government. But why not into Migori town? Because Migori town is another tribe. You have to understand it. So when we come outside here and say about, because Gintu gonna be developing something which nobody has ever been dreaming about, like a recreational activity facility. We're gonna be training people to know how to hatch fish. That is employment. That is knowledge. That is skills. Number two, we're gonna be training people how to rear fish and get employment into the fish industry.
Gintu, you're my brother. There is one thing that I have come to know you. We are not tribalism. And this tribalism we don't like. In fact, they are intruders. Those intruders, we are supposed to pave them. We have paved the way, but it's now too much. And the way they penetrated and up to the river, people have no way to
access the river.
Yeah.
And,
they penetrate.
And also, that's the key value. When I was fencing this land, I knew that much of the people who want to be passing through the way I removed there. And I had to get a land and I had to get a road. Because when my father had to give and sell this land to me permanently, I have to get a land. I have to get a road. I knew that road, let me not get it bigger, like maybe the car's going to be passing to the river because there's nothing going to be landing there to get. I left a very small highway, a footpath, that people can pass and acknowledge and get to the river.
But now you have a way.
But to the other people, they want to seal everything. So as even accessing the river is a problem. No, which is a river, which is essential and guaranteed to anybody. But why do you want to restrict people not to get to the river?
Gintu, what I'm telling you, I'm the CCTV now. And I'm telling you I'm the CCTV. Please inquire a phone wherever that I can get a phone so that I can mulika them very much. We don't care. We don't care. Wherever they are. Wherever they move, with their fingerprint, with their footprint, we are there.
Exactly.
We are on toes.
Yeah.
We are on toes. And we on eyes on them.
Exactly.
We don't care. We don't care if the other day I told you the contact
was about to marinate you.
Yeah, man. You can see even this place.
So a bit you have to be punctual whenever you're going to be grooving.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
So
you
as
know,
as we adjust onto this kind of the platform, we have to understand ourselves,
Yeah.
and we have to do what is just necessary.
yeah, exactly.
And what we're gonna be doing is to make sure that everything what is coming out, it should be so punctual, and also we should know what to do at which kind of the specific moment.
Exactly.
So guys, keep it tuned. I'm still on it, and back to it, and everything gonna be coming to you live, which is one-on-one, and to this kind of the 40th minute. As I say, keep tuned. Much of the
Mukami.
things gonna be coming.
CCTV guy.
Mukami CCTV. He's backyard me here, talking about much of the things gonna be coming to you live, one-on-one. Keep tuned. Still on it. Gonna be grooving back to the system and getting to know what's gonna be end card and gonna be coming out to that kind of the position. Be tuned. Guys, back again. A bit here. I'm coming from the fish farm there, and I'm heading to check on Matiko's mom in the hospital. Today is the second day, and I'm gonna be knowing how is she, and she recovered about 2-3 sicknesses. She was just having a bit, and it will be a bit good, so we can just know and entitle ourselves like she is healing, or what is just repentantly coming out from her own health status. So that's why I'm just heading to Mamo Hospital, and they're gonna be knowing what's gonna be popping out from that kind of the way forward, and everything will just be okay. So I've taken that kind of the work like she's my mom, and I wanna be there to see them moving. Also today we had a little bit of some shopping to the family, and they're now producing some foodstuffs and getting to the mom to the hospital, because sometimes the hospital food is not like the home food, and they always allow extra home food to the hospital, because also it doesn't have any kind of the affections, and we have to make sure that everything is so punctual about that one. So it's in the evening again, like yesterday I came here, and I'm gonna be knowing how is the health status and how everything is just moving on, and it will be so nice to understand the status of health at this kind of the moment. So back to the spot here. It's a Mama Hospital here, and I recognize the presence of the hospital also. They're gonna be knowing how everything is just moving on. So that will just be coming to you whenever the time gonna be reaching, so you can just know the health and everything, how it's just coming out, and how progress in terms of the healthy purposes. And we have to understand how it comes. So sometimes we're gonna be privacy at this kind of the hospital, because I cannot go to the wards and showing much of the ward people who are there. Sometimes they need some of the privacy because of the sicknesses or whatever is just necessary. So we're gonna be getting in, and we're gonna be getting you some of the report, how they're gonna be coming, and everything will shall be very fantastic how it comes to that kind of position. So keep it tuned. I'm gonna be getting in, and it's the, I think it's the visiting hours. It's in the evening, before it gets to 6 in the evening. That's the visiting hours here, and it's 5 still, and I think it's gonna be more fantastic here before it gets to 6. I'm gonna be coming to that, as I'm gonna be handling much of the matters. So I'm gonna be getting to the wards, and gonna be knowing how the healthy purposes for her, and also acknowledging you to a little bit of the receipt, and everything gonna be so fantastic. This is the second day here, and I think tomorrow she's gonna be leaving if more punctual I am, and that will be so fantastic. I'm gonna be handling that. Yeah, she's getting a bit good health there. I think that was best for her, and that was good for, so she's healing now, and she's feeling better. I think tomorrow but one, I think it's tomorrow more probably, she's gonna be leaving here, because she's still having a little bit of some pain and to the leg, because it was having a little bit of shenanigans. So I think she had explained it to the authority to talk about maybe the hospital management, and also the people to get the doctors to prescribe whatever will be necessary for her to get the medication, and everything will be so fantastic at that kind of the level. So that will be so necessary at that kind of the point, and I'm gonna be leaving it there, and I have to make sure that I'm moving all around to get whatever I'm gonna be there, and much more they are ever happening. And also there's some of the work I always do behind the scene that's not in the camera, including I have so many things to do at my home. I have my own projects to run. Also I have some of the sponsored people have to get there to know what's going to be popping out each kind of the time, because we have to work 24/7, and that is the best way. And I'm going to be relaxing now, and everything going to be so fantastic, and that will be so good at this kind of the moment. And as I appreciate much of the people tuned in, locked in, are watching this kind of video from wherever you are, I keep praying for us, because Africa, sometimes things are just worse. Even to us, things are going to be worse. So whenever development is there, people are going to be talking about, oh, you're going to not be making, and this kind of the things are going to be popping out. At that kind of the level, I say thank you very much for you being tuned, locked in, supporting, subscribing, like, sharing, and also we're going to be thriving together, and that is our responsibility. And also that's why I'm always here to get you updated what's going to be popping out from this kind of the center, and also from this kind of the area we are. And this is the end. Keep tuned. Back to you in the studio.